There's three big advantages to Lincoln Douglas debate that are important to consider when you're deciding what style of debate you want to do. The first is in terms of research. Lincoln Douglas debate changes topics every 2 months, whereas policy debate changes topics every year. PF debate changes topics every month, and worlds debates and other forms of debate can change their topic every single round. So I think Lincoln Douglas has a nice middle ground in between all of those, because while we do change our topics decently frequently every 2 months, we are able to get a large breadth of education about different issues, but we also are able to go a little bit more in depth on those issues because we have a longer period of time than events like public forums. So I think that's a nice middle ground, and it comes down to personal preference in terms of the type of research you want to be doing. The second is in diversity of argumentation. Lincoln Douglas debate has a lot of different arguments you can talk about. You can talk about anything from moral philosophy, Kant, ethics, to things like critical race theory, or current events in America, or policymaking, or even current global events. So there's a lot of different things you can talk about and you have to be prepared for to debate. So I think that's a good way of getting a wide variety of education. The third advantage, I think, is that you are on your own. Lincoln Douglas is a solo event. You don't have a partner, unlike in Worlds debate, PF debate, or policy debate. So if you are more independent and like kind of being in control of the types of arguments that you're reading, or being in control of what happens in a round, Lincoln Douglas might be better for you. For me personally, if I mess up in a debate round, I know that that's on me, and I know what I have to improve for later rounds. So that individual focus really allows me to think about my goals and what I want to do. So it comes down to whether or not you think you would be better at working in teams, or whether or not you would be better off working on your own. So I think those are three big things that people should consider when comparing different debate events and trying to choose between them. And those are the three big reasons why I ultimately chose Lincoln Douglas debate. And in my opinion, I'm a little bit biased, think it's the best kind of debate.
Hi, I'm Anais, and I really enjoy doing LD debate because it has taught me so many things about the world around me that I didn't even know. For example, the other day we were discussing an argument about inflation, which related to what we had to debate about. And I didn't really understand it, but an older debater talked to me about it, and I learned some really cool things about macroeconomics that we didn't even touch in at school. And I'd say the second most important thing that you get from debate is probably the people that you meet, because I've met some really great people that are on my debate team that I wouldn't have met otherwise at my school. And also, sometimes you get to travel around the country to different debate tournaments, and you see, like, and you meet a bunch of cool people, and you just form friendships with them. And that's cool. So, yeah.
My favorite part about LD debate is the opportunity to explore and engage new perspectives and literatures that I otherwise would never have imagined of coming across. For example, when exploring and reading about dense literature like Afro-pessimism, you really have to explore and understand the intricacies of different authors like Frank B. Wilderson, Fred Moten's response, and Jared Sexton's response to addressing both of those authors. I think LD specifically forces you to have to understand these authors and associated literatures more in depth, because you don't have to partner to rely on, and you still have to be able to understand these literatures to explain them towards any judges and hoping to get the ballot.
My favorite part of World Schools debate is the fact that it merges so many different skills all into one format. In the United States, there's a lot of debate formats that are primarily concerned with line by line analysis and a lot of critical thinking. And then there's public speaking events that emphasize more persuasion and presentation. And World Schools kind of has both of those things. And so it makes for really well rounded debaters who really understand kind of how the art of persuasion works. And that's kind of my favorite part about it.
One of my favorite parts of World Schools debate is that you work on a team with other people to come up with different ideas, and when you debate, you're able to each have your own role in the debate, but also let your individuality shine. So as a group, you work together and you're a cohesive unit, but also as an individual, you can shine through and bring your own style, your own flair, and your own sassiness.
My favorite part about World Schools Debate is the style aspect. If you look to other forms of debate, you don't exactly get that, and in fact, a lot of times judge feedback kind of condemns you for trying to have a stylistic flair. But when you look to World Schools Debate, you see that it's actually encouraged, so you get to be sassy, you get to kind of make fun of the other team, and it's just really, really fun.
My favorite thing about World Schools Debate is that it teaches you how to work well with others and your teammates, both in case construction going into a competition as well as whenever you're in a debate round and have to make those super quick decisions about what arguments you want to go for with your teammates. It really teaches you the value of communicating effectively not only to the judge but also with those that you're working with.
Hi, my name is Layla Saklo, and I am a participant in public forum debate. I started it when I was a freshman in high school, and I think that I was able to learn a lot about myself and be able to develop great research skills. Because the format is so heavily reliant on evidence, I've learned to be able to develop my arguments in a way that has a lot of information that's able to back it up, and I'm really grateful for all the skills that this format has been able to teach me.
Hi, my name is Elaine, and I do PF Debate, and I am Shreya's partner. So what I like about PF Debate is sort of like debate when you first think of debate. It's made for lay judges, so it's really easy to understand and follow, and it's based on a lot about evidence and facts compared to more like evidence that lay judges, people off the street can understand compared to policy and LD where there's K, theory argument, and other factors that also factor into LD and policy. I also like PF because of the way you sort of have to be able to communicate with your audience, adapting to your judge. Like if you see a parent judge and you know this parent hasn't probably seen very few debates and doesn't really know debate as well as you do, you probably have to create a more ethos-based argument, so you would get, or ethos and pathos-based argument, and really compel to their emotions.
I really love policy debate because of the diversity of argumentation that we have. For example, one debate I might be having, we might be discussing the intricacies of a specific policy action. This year, our topic is about education reform, and since we spend a full year on each topic, I've found that we can really dig in deep and learn a lot about each particular subject, which I really enjoy. The next debate I might be having, however, it could be about the basic worldview and how we as individuals understand society, or even how society disadvantages certain individuals, and as a result, the ethics of some kind of policy action. I've really found that these kind of differing debates that I can have really makes me enjoy policy debate because it never gets boring and it always stays kind of new and innovative for me, which I really like.